Here we have for sale our 2018 on a 68 plate Ford Transit Custom. This is the 280 model, meaning it's got a 2.8 tonne gross vehicle weight. This one has got the 2 litre Eco Blue diesel engine, Euro 6, producing 130 PS, roughly 130 brake horsepower in this particular example that we see here, and that is accompanied with a 6-speed manual gearbox. This is the short wheelbase or L1 limited panel van, finished in the fantastic magnetic grey. And what we're going to do in this video is have a little walk around. Please mind my dog. And I'll show you the spec that you get on a Transit Custom Limited of this age. We'll also talk you through in detail the condition of this particular example, look at things like the service history, which have been added to enhance the vehicle further. Because this vehicle, as I say, is currently available for sale with us here at Bridgend Van Centre on our website bridgendvans.co.uk, which we'll come to a bit later on in the video. Now, the first thing I must note with this particular vehicle is that there is no VAT to pay. A really rare opportunity to be had here. This is because the previous owner was not VAT registered, so if they're not VAT registered, they can't charge us VAT, and then we can't charge VAT on something that we haven't paid VAT on. So as a nice opportunity there with no VAT to pay. Starting here then, at the rear of the vehicle, we can see that this one says spec'd with rear barn doors. So barn doors is 2 doors which open like so. The other option which you can get is a tailgate, which is quite unusual to see, but barn doors probably the more practical option. In terms of condition then, let's have a good look at the condition here of the rear doors, and hopefully the camera is conveying this accurately. It is looking really, really nice. There's a couple of tiny little hairline marks I can just see there. You can see above my finger, another one just there as well. And this is probably to do with this rear lock, as maybe a key catching or something as someone is unlocking that door. But otherwise, there's not a tremendous amount that I can fault that on at the rear of the vehicle. Other than if we look just a little lower here on the rear bumper, the painted part of the rear bumper, again, little mark just there on the rear bumper, and a couple of sort of hairline ones further along. Of course, such a high traffic area of items coming in and out of the back, it's almost impossible to avoid that. On a Limited then, you get a lot of specs. You get colour coding all around, that includes the bumpers, mirrors, etc. But also you get parking sensors. So you've got rear parking sensors and front parking sensors as well. Now, in terms of bits which have been added afterwards, I did briefly mention this lock a little bit earlier. So this is a deadlock. So we've got one of these on the rear door on the side door, so that can be operated by a separate key, which of course comes with the vehicle, and there are spares for that. So the vehicle will lock as normal on the remote locking, but then for some extra security you can put a key in here and lock it, and it's a hook lock which goes over, giving you that extra security near the top. You can also see as well that we've got a nice rear spoiler which has been fitted to the rear doors, and that just ties in with the rest of the sort of sporty look to the vehicle. So we've got roof bars just there, we've also got sidebars and a nice set of alloy wheels, which I'll talk you through when we go around to the passenger side. If we open up the rear doors, then we can start to have a look inside the rear of the van. So you've got the little yellow arm there, you can give that a pull, that clips into place against the rear door. That gives you maximum accessibility then into the back of the van by opening these doors right out to their 180-degree position. And you can do exactly the same, of course, with both doors. And this is going to be quite difficult to film here in the back because we're in such direct sunlight. But what I can show you is that we have got brand new ply lining here. As you can see, we've got full rear door coverage as well. And the idea of ply lining is to protect the van. So if you've got cargo moving around in here, it's not going to cause a nasty outward dent in the side of your van. But we can see here, hopefully the camera will focus, that lovely brand new ply lining, of course the wheel boxes as well. The Limited comes with this fantastic hard wearing plastic floor in the back, and you can see the factory fitted bulkhead, which looks to be in really good order as well. And you have got the load through hatch to load some longer items under there. There's also plenty of tie down points as well in the back of the vehicle to tie your cargo down, but hopefully, as you can see, very nice condition in the back of there, clearly never used for any heavy use. We'll continue then to go around the outside, so we'll look here down the passenger side of the van, and I must say it is looking very clean and tidy. I like to look in the reflections where I possibly can. We'll go from this side, so we've got the sun more behind us, but hopefully you can see there just how clean that is. Very smart indeed. There's not a tremendous amount I can fault that on. There's a couple of tiny little sort of pin dents here just around my finger. I can just pick those up in the reflections, but otherwise, you know, apart from the odd tiny little chip which has been sort of touched in, I say in very nice order. You can also see on the back of this side loading door there is the other deadlock which I mentioned, which is, let's say, just there, but you can see inside there quite a sizable extra lock which that gives you. So anyone security minded, it's certainly nice to have, but you haven't got to use it, of course. It can be just there as a deterrent as well. But opening the side loading door, then this just gives you another aspect of the load space from this side. So fantastic condition. And then if we open up the passenger door, start to have a look in here. So passenger door card, all in lovely order actually. There's no scratches or anything on that. You see a lot of these which have got, you know, a lot of scratches around this sort of area, you know, other than a tiny little sort of hairline one just there. That is in really, really nice condition. Same with the passenger step. Again, these are the sorts of things which separate a really nice one from a bad one. And you can just see in here the floor. It's got nice rubber overmats as well, which I always like to see. That's just a sign that someone has thought about and looked after the vehicle. Looking at the seats here on the passenger side, fantastic order. There's no cigarette burns, tears, anything like that. Looking underneath, as I always say when I do this, just such a testament to how well our guys prepare these vans. It is even these details which you don't even immediately see, they take great care to prepare them to this standard. Folding down the tray here in the middle, a couple of cup holders and somewhere to store your paperwork as well. Looking at the driver's seat, you can see here that we've got to the armrest there, which is on a ratchet, so you can set that to your desired height. There's lumbar support on the side as well. I'll come around to the driver's side in just a second to show you a bit more of the spec there. The alloy wheels, briefly mentioned earlier, so it's a lovely set of brand new 20-inch caliber T-Sport in gunmetal grey. These are fully load rated with load rated tyres. Beautiful against the magnetic, I think. And I say also you've got a nice set of sidebars down there. Looking at the passenger mirror cover there, no issues. And then moving around to the front, I can see there's a few stone chips here to the bonnet, which is of course what you would expect really on any used vehicle, but certainly not excessive. That fantastic Ford Trail front grille there, which just absolutely transforms the front of the van. And then if we look over to the side, these are the headlights that you get with the limited model, and that gives you that lovely LED daytime running light around the outside. Front parking sensors come as standard, of course, with a front colour-coded bumper. Front fog lights, we've got a nice front splitter which has been added on here as well. So it just really does set the van off very nicely, this body styling. I say a couple of little stone chips, which have just been touched in there towards the front end. Looking then down the driver's side, so we'll have a look there. The mirror cover again on this side, no issues at all. Looking really, really smart down there. We've also got an extra security lock here, which is on the driver's door. The earlier customs actually had a bit of a fault where they were easy to break into. That was solved in some of the later models. There was a bit of an update, but as I say, certainly nice to be security minded, and if nothing else, it does act as a deterrent as well. If we open up the driver's door, then we can have a look inside here. So having a look at the step, really nice condition there. That's the correct placement of the toolkit. Looking at the driver's door card, so a couple of just, again, light sort of superficial marks in here where someone's been maybe loading something in that door pocket, but overall very good for its age and mileage. Electric windows, electric folding mirrors, and that's how those are operated there, just by pulling on that dial back towards you like so. You've got auto-activated lights and auto-activated wipers. You can see here that we have got 2 full remote keys with the vehicle, and then a number of keys then. These are for the deadlocks. That's for the lock there on the driver's door. Up on top of the dashboard then, plenty of storage up on here, which is easily accessible. A USB point and a 12-volt socket just there as well. Looking at the steering wheel, good condition of the steering wheel, the tiniest bit of wear there, but actually quite light for one of these. And then on the left hand side, cruise control and your volume controls for the radio underneath that. And then on the right hand side, your onboard computer controls. You can also answer and hang up the phone just there. If we look at the dashboard then, 37,433 miles. Really nice miles actually, I think, for the age. We do actually hold service history for the vehicle with Ford, so there is what would have been a previous service with this van, and during our preparation it's also been treated to a full service and MOT, so a clean bill of health ready for sale. Looking at the driver's seat, height adjustability here, and this is height adjustability at the front of the seat. No excessive wear here to the edge of the driver's seat, which is always lovely to see as well. If we quickly jump in here, you can also see here that you've got the infamous Sync 3 screen, which gives you Apple CarPlay and also Android Auto. Brilliant features to have on any vehicle, but nevertheless a van as well. Just very, very nice to have that, and almost hard to go back once you've lived with it. It gives you things like your Apple Maps and your music all on the screen there. You can also just connect your phone to this via Bluetooth as well if you want to, so you've got DAB radio and things like that as well. Underneath then, air conditioning, heated front seats, heated windscreen and heated wing mirrors, and then you've got another 12-volt socket and a USB port just there as well. Looking at the gear stick here, 6-speed manual gearbox to go along that 130 PS engine. A little bit of wear just to the leather on the gear knob. We see that very often on these. And underneath that, a nice flip out hidden cup holder. So very well equipped inside the cab of the limited model. And condition wise on this example, very nice. So just to quickly summarise, 2018 on a 68 plate Ford Transit Custom is the 280 model, so 2.8 tonnes gross vehicle weight. 2-litre EcoBlue diesel Euro 6 engine, 130 PS, 6-speed manual gearbox, short wheelbase, L1, limited van, finished in magnetic, full styling kit on it, brand new ply lining in the back, previous Ford service plus our full service and MOT before it leaves us as well. If you'd like to see the full advert of this vehicle, if you haven't seen it already, please head over to our website, bridgeendvans.co.uk. This is where you'll find our full stock list, but also the photography, the price and the description of this van that we've just been talking about. There's a number of ways which you can contact us, and that includes the numbers here at the bottom of the sign. And of course there's a number of ways you can send us a message if maybe it's out of hours and you don't want to disturb us at 10 o'clock at night. You can by all means do that on the website as well. We can arrange finance at very competitive rates, whether that be for a private individual or a limited company. We can also arrange a part exchange, and whether that be for a car or a van. So by all means get in contact with any vehicle that you may have that you'd like to part exchange towards this lovely magnetic Transit Custom. And we can also deliver our vans nationwide as well. So if you haven't got time to come and see us down here in sunny South Wales, then we can also deliver the van to you wherever you are. Thank you very much for watching.